In this video, we are looking at mapping and we are focusing on the domain and codomain of a mapping. Now, let's start with a question. Consider the mapping below. We can see that this set A has a function that relates it to set B. That function is called G. Okay, we can see that, every element here has a codomain it's related to. So this is a mapping. So we have been asked for what are the elements of the codomain. Elements of the codomain are 1, 2, 3. So we can see the codomain. So elements of the codomain of G is equal to this set of numbers 1, 2, and 3. Now in the next example, we'll be learning something about codomains. So this is the next example and we still have the same question. What are the elements of the codomain? So we are looking at the codomain. Everything in this set is a codomain. We have W, X, Y, and Z. But not every member of this set has a domain that is mapped to it, has a member of the domain that is mapped to it. Like this Z, there is nothing attached to it. No member here is attached to it. Okay, and because of that, we have something we call the image or range. The image or range are a set of those elements of the codomain that has been mapped to elements of the domain. So what do we mean? The image is this set, W, X, and Y. Z is not an image or range, right? Good. So we can see that the image or range could be equal to the codomain, or it could be a subset of the codomain. Okay, find the image of the function f such that x has this relation x squared plus 6 if the range of f is this. So remember we just talked about range or image. Okay, now we say that function is the relation between two sets. So this is the relationship between the domain and the codomain. So this function must happen to each of the domain to get the codomain or the range or the image of that function. Okay, so what we are going to do is that we are going to solve. We have that f of x, which is the function of the domain, function of x is equal to x squared plus 6. And we are already told that the range is this. So this function must happen to any value of the domain. Any value we pick out for the domain, this function is carried out to it to give us the codomain. Therefore, we are seeing that x squared plus 6 is equal to 6 in this case. That is, this relation, this is the relationship between the domain and the codomain. So this is the codomain. This must happen to the domain, any element of the domain, to get this codomain. So x squared plus 6 is equal to 6. So what must x be for this to be true? We solve the equation. X squared is equal to 6 plus 6 goes over to be minus 6. So x squared is equal to 0. X squared is equal to 0. So that means that x is equal to 0 because the square root of 0 is 0. Okay. Then we also have 7, right? We have that x squared plus 6 is equal to 7. What must happen for this to be true? We have that x squared is equal to 7, then 6 crosses over to be minus 6. We have that x squared is equal to 7 minus 6 is 1. Therefore, we take the square root of both sides. Square root of x squared is x, square root of 1 is plus or minus 1. Okay, plus or minus 1. Okay, I'll take that as, maybe let's just leave it as 1. If they're all positive value, let's assume that all x are all positive values. So plus 1. Okay, we also have 10, right? We have that x squared plus 6 is equal to 10. This is how to get the domain of a function or a mapping. X squared plus 6 is equal to 10. Therefore, x squared is equal to 10 plus 6 crosses over to be minus 6. We have that x squared is equal to 4. We take the square root of both sides. We have that x squared, x itself is equal to 2. Remember, we said let's assume that the domain is made up of all positive numbers. If not, this should have been plus or minus 2 as our value. Now we have that x squared plus 6 is equal to 15, right? Okay, since it's equal to 15, we have that x squared is equal to 15 minus 6, which is equal to 9. X squared is equal to 9. We take the square root of both sides. We have that x is equal to 3. Now, we were told to find the domain of the function. Therefore, the domain of the function is this set of numbers. We had 0, we had 1, we had 2, and 3. So this is the domain. So let this function be such, defined by f of x equal to x squared minus x minus 2, where w, that's the domain, is minus 1, 0, 2, 5, 11, and r set of real numbers. Find the range of f. We have to find range this time. In the previous one, we were given the range or codomain, and we are told to find the domain. Now we've been given the domain. This is always the domain, and this is the codomain. So we have to find R. Okay. Now for this, we see that this equation of the function minus 2 is always equal to the codomain. So we are going to substitute each value of the domain into x. X represents the domain, right? Okay. Now, when x is equal to 1, when x is equal to negative 1, that is the first, we have that the codomain, which we can say y, is equal to minus 1 squared, right? Minus 1, right? Minus 2. Minus 1 squared is 1. Minus 1 is plus 1 minus 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. So we can see that when x is equal to minus 1, y was equal to 0, or the codomain was equal to 0. When x is equal to 0, right, we have that y is equal to 0 squared minus 0 minus 2 equal to 0 squared is 0, minus 0 is 0, then minus 2 is equal to minus 2. So for x equal to 2, we have that y is equal to 2 squared minus 2 minus 2. 2 squared is 4 minus 2 minus 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 minus 2 is also 0. We have that when x is equal to 5, we have that the codomain y is equal to 5 squared minus 5 minus 2, according to the equation, right? We now have that 5 squared is 25 minus 5 minus 2. 25 minus 5 is 20. 20 minus 2 is 18. We now have when x is equal to 11, we have that y is equal to 11 squared minus 11 minus 2. 11 squared is 121. 121 minus 11 is 110. 110 minus 2 is 118. Now let's gather the range together. Therefore, the range of that function is equal to this set of numbers. We are now going to collect all these values. 0, okay, minus 2. We are not going to repeat 0 again because 0 is already here. We have 18 and 118. This is 18. Oh, I just found out that this was, we said 110 minus 2, 108, sorry. 108. Okay. Now for this one, I'm going to leave you to do it by yourself. You can copy out the, pause the video, copy out the question, and then solve. I would like to hear from you. What's the range of this function?